Hello, everyone, and welcome to Light Screen Action. I'm your host, Tiana Sirmans. Today, I'm interviewing the dream team behind Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Journey, Mr. David E. Talbert and Mrs. Lyn Sisson-Talbert. How are you guys today?
We're great. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It is definitely an honor to get to talk to you guys today. I loved the film.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a lot of time and effort and love put into it. So I'm glad it shows.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely what we needed. And this is a film that everybody is talking about and everyone just loves it. So with all the excitement behind the film, how are you guys feeling about the success Jingle Jangle is having?
Oh my gosh, it's a dream come true. I don't think we fully processed it yet. I got a text this morning from a friend that said, "My girls keep asking Alexa to play the Jingle Jangle soundtrack. It's bumped all the other soundtracks out." He's like, "We must have listened 75 times already." I'm like, "Oh, thank you." So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And me being an entertainment field journalist, I've seen a lot of different films, but none like this.
Well, it's just one of those things where I watched these films growing up, kind of these fantasy films with wonder and everything. And I just wanted to do one that had representation, in it. And now it's a film. I was just watching this morning myself while I was doing something else on my computer. I just had the volume down. I was watching it. I'm like, wow. I'm like, sometimes I forget that, we did that film, but it's a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, I bet you just feel so great, even after watching it, after having to record it and everything, just seeing the finished project.
Yeah, well, it is. It's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it. We were working on this for the film version of it for 3 years. So we moved to London. We were there living for 8 months, and it's a lot goes into it. But when you see the final project, the final product, it's like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we enjoy it just as much as you guys. It's something we've always wanted to see. So it's cool to make something that we've always wanted to watch as well.
Yeah, it's really great.
Thank you.
So I'm so impressed by everything that you both did to bring this film to life. Mr. Talbert, I know you were the director, producer, and writer of the film. And Mrs. Sisson-Talbert, you were the producer, but also had input in hair and costume. So which of those jobs do you feel allowed you to push yourself the most creatively, and why?
I'd say all of it, because you need to be all in working on any project. I feel you is even more important because I'm wanting David's vision to be the best that it could possibly be, and at the same time I'm looking at it as a viewer like you are, and the things that I would enjoy and I would want to see as well. So plus just having the opportunity to push the envelope to do something that hasn't been done, or to take something that hasn't been done to a even higher level. So I feel like every part of it you do because you want it to be the best it can be. So there isn't really any particular job that pushed it more. It's just having the passion to want to bring something like this to life for so long.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I totally agree because all the songs and everything about it was just so unique. And that's one thing that I just really loved about it.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There were so many special elements that made this film so magical. What was something that you tried for the first time with this film and thought, wow, it actually worked and it worked well?
I'd say visual effects are new to us, and to be able to see that world ourselves and how to build it, we were in awe. Every time we saw something new on the screen that was showed, or David and I may have said, "Oh, how can we make this look like a storybook?" But the book comes to life. All of these different elements, speaking with our visual effects team at Frame Store, it was like, "Oh yeah, we could do that." and they'd show us examples, and we're just like, oh my gosh, it was like being kids, you know, in a candy store. And I would say that would be the most new for us, as far as, wow, this is a whole new world and element of bringing a story to life. So, you know, visual effects are our new love.
Yeah, I would say visual effects too were really big, but shooting choreography with 100 different dancers and all that was really a big deal and very exciting for me.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun, and you guys definitely nailed the visual effects.
Thank you,
Thank you.
thank you.
You're welcome. So speaking of all the special elements, I know you guys put a lot into creating this film, between the singing, the dancing, the props, the stunts. What was something that you want to make sure was included in this film that no matter what, it had to be in there?
That's a good question.
I would think for me, it would be the layering of authenticity, of the African fabrics, of the natural hairstyles, that really just spoke to me from the beginning. And it was something that I just had to make it work one way or the other. I think for us, you know, that make it work, like you know, we say that soundtrack's like the soundtrack to our lives. Every song, if you look at it, was things that we were pushing for throughout the film, you know, finding our square root of possible and make it work, and our Magic Man G moments. So, but those are the elements that I thought were important, and the historical layering of the naming of the buildings, the giving honor to like David's grandmother, where the building's named after Annie A.M. Woods, Annie Mae Woods, things like that we just were like, oh, it has to be that way. We have to find ways to give a nod to things that we love or that are important in our lives.
Yeah, and I would say that, and just the whole wonder of it all, and wanting to see a film that would make me feel like a kid again. And that's what was most important to me, and I was proud of that we were able to do.
Yeah, and I love that. And kind of what you guys were talking about, the songs, I feel like the songs were all unique. And so if you took something from every song, it really just kind of touches you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, the songs are very special. You know, I grew up loving musicals, and we've done plays for 20 years that were musical plays. So and Lyn plays instruments and reads music, and though I don't do that, you would think I do, but I'm very much into that. So it was exciting to do this, and we poured our heart into it.
One thing that I really loved from this film is that Journey really loved math and inventing. And one thing that she said in the film is that being different sure is tough. How does it feel creating a film that will forever help normalize kids loving STEM, especially young girls like myself?
Oh, that itself is again another dream. You know, being growing up as a little Black girl myself, you want to feel like you belong, and that the things that are different about you are what makes you great. And so it's really important. I was fortunate to have, you know, my dad was always very encouraging. My parents were always very encouraging, but you step into those places and those moments where you don't feel like you're your best self, or you feel awkward, or you feel different, you feel judged, all of those different things. So I mean, I think all children, you know what that's like at some level. And you just want to know that no matter what, your differences are honored, and you're going to be okay. You can make things happen for yourself. So, you know, I want that for my son and for all little boys and girls out there. And that's really what that meant for us, you know, that if she can show that she can do anything and she can make things possible, that you can too.
Yeah, I totally agree, because I really feel inspired from just seeing the film and all of the elements of like that.
Aw, thank you.
Well, that's what, you know, we wrote it for you and all the little boys and girls out of the world who would never normally see themselves, you know. That's what we wrote it for and put the film together for. So I'm glad.
Yeah, and we want you to be excited about math and science and inventing and know that those areas are for you and for you to try out and see if it's something that you would love. You know, it's not an untapped, you know, area that you can't go into. You can do any of those things.
Yeah, and like normally I'm someone who's not like a big fan of math, but from watching this film and seeing how you guys created the scenes where it was like all the math things floating around Journey and Jeronicus, it really inspired me to kind of like math and inventing more.
Yay!
Well, it's because it's magical, you know.
Yeah.
We wanted to make it fun and magical, and not just a chore or a task or homework, you know.
We definitely did a good job of that.
Thank you.
So all the characters in this film were incredible and brought meaning to the film. But let's talk a little bit about Don Juan, voiced by Ricky Martin. I personally feel that his character really helped make the movie what it is. So 2 questions. What did Don Juan mean to Jeronicus Jangle? And was there a specific reason why Jeronicus didn't just restore the body 3000 after Gustafson took Don Juan?
Well, he meant a lot to him because it was the first major thing he had invented. So it kind of breaks your heart when there's something that you've been working on for so long and someone steals it. It can kind of break your heart and break your spirit. And that's what it did. And that's why it took Journey to come back around to remind him that he was still magical, and to believe in himself again.
Yeah. And I really
think sometimes with people too, you feel like this is it. This is that one thing. This is my last chance. This is the one that's going to do it all. And you don't realize that, you know, you put so much into that, you don't realize that you can do it again. You have the creativity, you have the wherewithal to make something happen for yourself regardless. And with all the layers of things that happened with him, it was like, he felt like this was it, this must be it. So we know a lot of people that have gone through that, and we've gone through that at times. And so to show that there's always some magic left, you know, for everyone, no matter what age you are, no matter where you are, no matter who you are, you know, there's some magic left.
Yeah, and I really love that. And it's like that one quote from the film where Miss Johnston was saying that the magic isn't in just what you have lost, but in what you still have.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
true,
right.
True.
So one thing from the film was that Jeronicus did not like being called anything else but his name. Like Miss Johnston called him Jerry, and Jeremy called him Grandpa Jay. What was the significance of him not liking to be called by the nicknames?
Well, because he is a bit of a grump. And so he just wanted to be Jeronicus. He didn't want to have a term of endearment or affection or any of that. He just wanted to work in his pawn shop and be left alone. And one of the great things about those characters, Journey and Miss Johnston, is that they saw the good in him still.
Right.
And they refused to let him just exist in this state. And that was what was charming about it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that was like one of the heartwarming parts.
Thank you.
So Jeronicus Jangle's store was also known as a world of wishes and wonder. How do you think a world of wishes and wonder ties into the film?
Well, I think for many people, the film is what we all wished for and wondered if it could ever be brought to life. And we did. And we were able to do that and give it to the world. So I think it's just something that we all hoped for, we wished for would be real, that you would have a big budgeted, big event movie, a big fantastical musical. And now the world has it.
Yeah. and you're able to feel something. You know, I think the world wanted to feel a certain way. You know, we wanted to feel like we could be magical again. We wanted to feel hopeful and believe again, especially with the crazy year we've all had. So it was just really perfect timing with those themes right now. We all needed it.
Yeah, well, I was really able to feel it from watching the film. And as I was saying earlier in the interview, this was just what the world needed.
You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
So, fun fact about me is that I wrote my first play in third grade for the talent show called Goldilocks and the Big Bad Wolf. It was about friendship and not judging a book by its cover. I was the director for it, the casting director. I was the producer and actually starred in it. And I know I was very nervous getting up on the stage and performing in front of the entire school. So, what message from the movie would you give to someone on facing their fears and following their dreams?
From the movie, I feel it's, you know, believe in your magic, you know, that anything's possible. That's really the theme that we want to push out there, and believe in someone else when they need it most also, you know. It's I think it's so good to encourage people and help people, and you never know what that one thing that you say or that smile or that, you know, pat on the back can do for someone else at the same time. So that's what I feel.
Yeah, yeah, it's all possible, and believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like all about just like kindness and just kind of putting yourself in other people's shoes at times too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And the good thing about movies is you write something, but then you leave it open for people to get out of it, you know, what they, you know, get out of it. And so that's a beautiful thing. I've gotten so many emails from people of this scene they've loved, that scene they've loved. So it's just, so, you know, it's good that you get that out of it and everybody gets something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I definitely got a lot out of it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So in 15 years, what do you hope people are saying about Jingle Jangle: A Christmas Journey?
Well, I'd say in 100 years, but certainly that what people are saying now is a classic, but you don't really know until you sit back, because there's so the story hasn't fully been told on Jingle Jangle yet. You know, we have aspirations for it to be on Broadway and action figures and animation. There's going to be so much on it. That Lyn has a book, the invention of Jeronicus Jangle and the square root of possible. So there's so many. The Jingle Jangle universe is just getting started. So maybe ask me in 15 years.
Yeah.
You got it. Yeah, I mean, especially because this film has become on certain families' holiday traditions where they're going to watch this film year after year for the holidays.
Yes, that's exactly, you know, what we wanted. We wanted to create a classic where it is that, you know, for you and your family to sit down and watch together year after year, or Christmas in July, and to see what other classics have done with Christmas ornaments and, you know, just expanding the universe, as David mentioned. And that is what I feel remind people of the fun of it all. And they not only can watch it on their television, but they can have it in their home displayed or on their tree or all of that, because, you know, we collect those favorite things because of what they mean to us. And I want people to be able to have the things that they would want because it means something and they want it a part of their household as well.
Right. Yeah, and it definitely creates some great memories and can be passed on for generations.
Good.
Yes. Yes.
Well, this was a great interview. I feel inspired. I love talking with you guys today.
Oh, we love talking with you too.
We do. And when we heard that you were on the book reading interview, and we heard about you, we've wanted to make sure you get a chance to talk to people in the industry, because we're proud of what you do.
Yes.
I mean, you are the square root of what's possible.
Yes, you are.
And you just keep at it, and you keep believing in yourself, because the sky is the limit.
And we believe in you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That just made me so happy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Well, that was all for this interview. Thanks for tuning in to Light Screen Action. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.